I guess I have 6 kids.
Yeah, that's a valid statement. Cage Titans is your unofficial, not baby. So anybody that fights for Cage Titans might not be your baby, but they're your baby's baby.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyways, we finally got Slippery Pete. Oh, Jesus. Shocking. What are you doing in the car there, Pete?
Oh, you put me on. What's up? Hello, Daddy. Oh, what's up, Daddy? Oh, he says he's my son. Oh, all right, Daddy.
I said,
Papa,
I did not say you were my son, man.
Papa. That's what my son calls me. Papa.
Oh, so we're gonna. This is the portion of the show where your kids, the kids that we got 1.4 million, should shut this off. Where Peter Barrett is FaceTiming and driving and doing some extracurriculars in his lap.
I am a master of extracurriculars, but that's a different conversation for another time, maybe a different life. So let's talk about fighting.
Yes. So Pete, you were at Cage Titans 63 before we talk about yourself fighting. Obviously, congrats on being a new dad, but Cage Titans 63, what's some stuff that stood out for you?
Well, I was really let down by the main event. My good friend and brother in arms, Sean Lally, was robbed of an opportunity to lay a dead body out in Plymouth. But we all know what happened behind the scenes. So, those real ones know what happened, and everybody else can speculate. That being said, I had a blast. I love going to Cage Titans with Africa as a fan. I still float around and do my thing and say hello and kind of do like the whole politicking and shaking hands and kissing babies, if you will. But I love sitting in the fucking crowd and just watching and being a fan. Sorry, I'm itching my leg. It's the winter. I die with the fucking cold weather. But dude, there's nothing better than being a fan at Memorial Hall. It's fucking sweet.
What's a performance that stood out?
Mitch looked great. I wish Mitch would get the guys that originally signed up to fight him so he could really put on a show. But, sometimes you just got to fight who shows up in front of you. And that's the card, the hand you're dealt. And you do the best you can. And you walk out of there with your hand held high, with your head high, knowing that it's more about you and your development than it really is about your opponent. We know that he's of the quality and of the level to be fighting at the next level. He's just, waiting for his turn, I guess. And he really put on a clinic, like a straight clinic here, his feint game was sweet. But the one thing I said to him was like, man, I wish you threw some leg kicks to drop those hands so you could have knocked him out. But, Mitch is a stand-up kid, he's, very respectful, always says, what's up? Always thanks me for feedback. Like, so, I can't say enough great things about him, but the whole card front to back, like Greg Jones, way to put on a show. I've trained with both of those guys. Brian's tough. Brian is a grinder. I've had countless Saturday mornings Monday nights at Sit Ya Tong with him, where it's like the 8th or 9th round. And it's like, Brian, go fucking wrestle this dude. And I'm like, that's the last thing I want. It's to have this kid fucking holding me against the cage and me doing everything to get my back out to the center of the ring. So the kid's a workhorse and he's put in the time. He was an extensive amateur before he finally went pro, and kind of a journeyman, tough as nails. And Greg showed up and did what he had to do. It was, I didn't want to see either one of them lose, but I would have been happy to see both of them win. It was just a good performance by both of them,
Yeah,
sure. What else? I mean, there were some shenanigans in the crowd. That's always fun to see.
What?
What are you talking? Somebody got spit on. Didn't I not see that? Did I not see somebody get spit on?
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Something did happen in the crowd. Whoa. Nothing crazy, but it's always it's an exciting night. All the people that work for you love me. I love saying hello to everybody. Everybody gets excited when they see me. Like, it's just cool. It's cool. Little kids say what's up. They get super excited when they see me. Fucking, it's a blast to be there. It's like, I'm grateful to be in the role that I am with the fan base that we have.
Pete, second hour of the show, and he starts stirring the pot up now. Thanks, Pete.
What did I do?
Probably because you're recipient of Fight of the Year 2 years in a row and running, and you're throwing your name back into the hat for action. Is that a continued goal? I
should have got knockout of the night too. I don't know. Fuck.
Well, you want to knock out for the liver kick?
I didn't fucking knock out some geriatric.
Jesus Christ. Pete is never, I see this
Swat.
viewership spiking. Never a loss for words, Pete.
Yeah, man.
That was
And
nice.
Andy, I have a bone to pick with you. Oh, and I heard you on that Monday night. At one point, they were both out on their feet, bro. Go watch that fight again. At no point was I out on my feet. You go watch the first round. He barely landed a shot on me. Everything was on the outside of my guard. I dominated that whole fight, bro.
You definitely won every round. You were definitely ahead. Yeah. My feet getting a little wobbly. I can only call like I see it in the moment. Listen, I didn't think. I know you're not out on your feet right there, but he was throwing back. You both were hurting each other. You know it was a war.
It was a
But
war.
you definitely won every round.
All right, we can agree to agree.
Hold on. That's not agreeing to agree.
I mean, it could still be back and forth, and you're still winning every round.
I love fucking stirring the pot.
I know you do, man. I love arguing with you.
No,
man.
it was a good back and forth. It was. No, I'm not saying it wasn't. You know, I can debate people. I'm a master debater. I can do this all night. I can do this till I'm blue in the face.
I've heard that.
Anyways, so yes, there was a spitting incident, and Tyler Pimentel was unfortunately the recipient of the revenge spit back that missed the target and hit Tyler Pimentel as an innocent bystander.
I mean, is it not a fucking Cage Titans fight night if there are not bodily fluids being spilled on other people?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, it is. I mean,
you gotta have a little flavor.
Yeah, you got a little flavor.
I mean, shit. Somebody was bleeding all over the tables. I was watching it, going, God damn it! I'm so happy I didn't sit closer.
Yeah, there was
blood. Lally cornered. There was, I think it was
Lorenzo.
Lally cornered. Actually, he bled like a full, like it. Dude, it was blood everywhere.
Yeah, we were just talking about Everett Desolé. I think he had to have broken Lorenzo's nose the first punch he threw. That was definitely a broken nose.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. That's like any when you see that, you know, anytime he's getting hit, doesn't matter how much that adrenaline's pumping, that's going right through his fucking face.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, you know, it's been a little while since you're out of the cage. The last time you fought was March, I believe. You took some time off becoming a dad. What's up,
dude? Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, okay. So you take about a year off, you know, became a new dad. How's life been treating you in this time off?
Dude, it has been a trip. It has been wild, you know. It's been it is definitely like, what do you want to call that? A rite of passage? Like, one thing for Africa with her labor story to go through that, and then, you know, that's a rite of passage that we will never understand. No man will ever understand what a woman goes through when she has a baby. I don't care what anybody says. Nothing, not like, there's no comparison to getting kicked in the balls. Like, we want to joke about it, but you will never know what that fucking thing feels like. And it's just, you just won't. But I've seen it firsthand, unmedicated. And, but having seen that, been a part of that, and now raising this little guy, it is a rite of passage in its own regard. Being a parent, being a dad, setting an example, realizing like, oh, if I lose my shit on the dogs, he's going to know that losing his shit on the dogs is okay, which is going to then bleed into like, okay, when somebody disagrees with him, he can act like a little fucking snot, which, you know, you realize that you're teaching your kids how to act right away. And they're like little sponges and they soak it all up. So it kind of really makes you take a look at the mirror and make sure that you're leading by example. And, you know, sometimes I do great at it. Sometimes I don't, but, you know, that's what I mean. That's what I say. What I mean, like, it's a rite of passage. Like, you really are learning so much, because you have to wonder what this little guy is seeing through his eyes by the way you're acting. And, you know, I just want to make sure that
in your FaceTime, smoking a bowl, driving on the while you're FaceTiming. Yeah,
bro, there's nobody in my car with me. I am not there. That is totally fine. You know what I mean? If I would not be if he was in the baby seat, I would at least not be smoking the bowl, right? We don't smoke with the child in the car. Maybe maybe I would have called in instead of FaceTimed in.
I gotta say, shout out to all the women out there and all the moms and everybody. You know, like, honestly, I I've had the joy of watching 5 births of all my kids, and it really is like you can prepare for it mentally. You think you can prepare for it, then never mind being the woman giving the birth. Being in the room, just witnessing it firsthand is a fucking experience. So shout out to all you ladies out there. I'm sure our audience is mostly men, but if there is a woman out there watching by some chance.
Hey, women fight too. Shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But anyways, so Pete, I had my dad moment at the beginning of this. Earlier when you came on, when you called me daddy, because the fighters are my kids. You got to kind of feel like that. You're an elder statesman at this point in your career, and you've been fighting since Cage Titans 2. Like, do you ever, and now you're coaching guys. Like, how's it feel for you to see some of these fighters that are like you've witnessed them? Because like Mitch Raposo, we talked about him, and you said that was one of the most impressive performances. He was probably a debuting amateur when you were well into your pro career on an undercard of yaws that you might have been headlining at Cage Titans, like things like that. How does it feel to see the progression in some of these guys?
It's incredible. It's cool. It's definitely a unique perspective to have. What it really, to be honest, it makes me wish I got involved with fighting a hell of a lot younger. Like my amateur debut was at 25. Like Mitch made his mind at fucking 16 and devoted his life to it. And now we're seeing the results of that. Like I can't, I don't know Mitch more, we're not like close buddies, but I think much like myself, when he sets his mind to something, he's all the way in. He's jumping in both feet in, and fuck plan B, plan A is going to work. So to see him do that from such a young age is fucking cool, man. We have the same manager. We've trained with the same people. He's a fucking stand-up guy. He's respectful. He's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see that the good guy does win sometimes,
Yeah. It's funny you say that because, like, I used to, you got in the sport at, debut at 25, and, 15 years ago, starting Cage Titans, you saw a lot of guys get into the sport, like, kind of older age. There was never those guys who got into it, like, so early, like a Mitch. And it was like, see how good these guys are? Wait till they start training when they get into high school, and then they're making their debuts. And Manny Bermudez was the first experience for me, was like, yo, this is what it's like when somebody starts training from, like, middle school. Imagine what in 10 years it's going to be when you have guys just like they're picking up a football at age 6.
Wait until Mateo Francisco Barrett jumps in the fucking cage, and he's been fighting since he was 2, and everybody's like, oh my God.
Well, exactly. Like, when MMA becomes...
What in the world? Like, I mean, you're going to look at this kid, he's going to be like the David Beckham of MMA.
Well, it's so true because, like, there's kids who've been playing. I was a hockey player, playing hockey since 4 years old. Playing football since 7, 8. Your baseball
kids in
since
Canada
4.
skate before they walk. What do you mean?
So then you see the progression of how good these guys are at an early age. Now, like, imagine what it's going to be like you just mentioned, like when you got people that have been doing jiu-jitsu and striking arts and wrestling from the age of 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and how good and more advanced they're going to be.
Yeah, and it's exciting, I mean, I hope that the sport grows and matures and develops with these kids. I think there's a lot of disparities right now. MMA is still in its infancy. But once we start to see like the Bo Nichols get real fucking good, these younger kids coming up that are going to get real fucking good, to figure out, and hopefully they're not they're not old school like the boxers, like the old school boxers, like, oh, don't touch my secrets, like you can't know what I do. It's like these motherfuckers are just doing nonstop drills, and it's to the point where they're fucking fluent in their movements. Like they can speak in the way that they move, the way that someone can speak fluently in English. Like they don't even have to think about what's coming out of their mouth. It just comes naturally.
Africa says, like, we'll see about Paquito getting in there.
Who said that?
Africa.
Yeah, we know Paquito's getting in there. Don't you worry.
I love that because people ask me a lot of times. They're like, would you want your kids doing this? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'd want my kids doing that. Like, I'm not. I do get that question a lot, and I'm glad that you have that stance. But people ask me a lot. They're like, would you want your kids doing that? I'm like, Yeah, like if they want to, fuck yeah, why not?
There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. Yeah, like you've got guys that have played football from the time that they were 5, before that they had all those strict fucking helmet rules, that are doing just fine. You also have guys like Junior Seau who woke up and fucking had a devastating incident. You know what I mean? Like that also has happened. But there's, like I said, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. You can't just look at the bad examples and be like, that's going to happen to my kid if I let him do this.
Yeah. Great.
You know?
Well, now we'll put to bed the parenting portion of the show.
Talking about the kid jumping in there and fighting in a few years, but what's on the radar for you this year?
Man,
are we dropping this?
I mean, we don't. Whatever you guys want to do.
Pete's going to be fighting in March. We're not going to drop the name tonight. We'll tease him.
I'm a company guy. I do what you guys like. You know what I mean? Sometimes I stir the pot. Sometimes I talk the shit. But I'm always selling tickets. Always be closing. The ABCs of life.
Go and do likewise.
So yeah, we'll be fighting in March. And if something happens where there's an opportunity to fill in last minute, or if we hear back from Game Bread, they've been teasing me at 145, and I've been adamant about not cutting that weight again. We've got a connection with Bare Knuckle that we've been chatting with, and I've been very open with you about it, Mike. This is kind of more news to everybody, not news to you. We have a very open dialogue about what goes on. So in the event that something like that with a good payday comes up, maybe I'll jump over there. But I think, I think you'll see me in March 30th in Plymouth, Massachusetts, knocking some motherfucking blocks off, So make sure you guys buy your tickets and get excited for that. But I know I've only got so many fights left. I can't do this for another 5 to 10 years. I'm just being foolish thinking like that. So if I'm gonna fight 5, 6, 7 more times, like I want to get paid as much as I fucking can, and that's just so I can have something to walk away from the sport with. Maybe to open a gym, maybe to pay off some of my student loans, maybe to put a down payment on a house to raise my family in, something like that. So we're remaining optimistic, keeping in the gym, staying active, keeping myself ready to peak for fight shape. And like tonight, I went and did 10 rounds, and I would say I won all 10 rounds. And I mean, that's a biased opinion, but I wasn't out there fucking gassing, juicing, to the max, like pushing pace. I was fighting, conserving energy, making sure I had the appropriate energy to go the 10 rounds. And I feel like I did fine. Next week I'll push myself a little bit harder, but I'm never too far out of fight shape. I stay on top of my breath work. I stay on top of my training, stay on top of my strength and conditioning. So it's just juggling the time to put the time together. It's been juggling the time to put the time together for a fight camp with the baby. That's been my biggest challenge. So we are on the same page as a team, as a family, to go forward with this. So we've got the whole Barrett family jumping in the cage on the 30th, and that's what's most important.
There you go. Fuck Pete, I gotta rib you a little bit. Fucking 35 years old, you're still paying off college loans?
Bro, I'm 37, and you know what? I had private loans. Fucking Sleepy Joe can go fuck himself, canceling all that fucking public bullshit through the government. Like, go buy off my loans from Wells Fargo, those fucking cheap fucks. They're like one of the dirtiest banking organizations in the world. See who they finance down in South and Central America. You'll never want to do business with them again.
Always have been.
Oh, great segue, Pete. You're our resident conspiracy
theorist. The tinfoil hat comes out.
Well,
yeah, man. I mean, of course, I'm paying my student loans. I think I have. It's like I could buy it off for like $3 or $4 grand and be done with it. But whatever, dude. It's better for my credit to make the payments on time.
Well, I need a good. I always ask you this. I need a good conspiracy to look into, and so do the fans. Benjamin Lindsay, I know you wanted me to drop the name. I was hoping to get the contract in my hand signed from his opponent before the show. I don't have it yet, so I don't want to jinx it. So he will be fighting. The offers out there. The offers agreed upon. So we should be good for maybe next week a drop. But yeah, give us something to look into, Pete. You've given us Pizzagate, and you've given us all kinds of gems in the past.
Are we just not going to talk about the Hasidic Jews in the tunnels of New York that just so happen to fit the description of everything that happened with Pizzagate?
What?
You didn't
What?
see the,
You didn't
the
hear about
Hasidic
the
Jews in the
tunnels under
tunnels?
the synagogue with all the
What?
Hasidic Jews
You didn't
fucking
see that?
attacking the police? Oh my good God. They had tunnels through New York, baby mats, soiled, dirty, bloody, brown baby mattresses, baby seats. Like, dude, there was some nefarious shit with children going on down there. Like, it looked like Epstein's fucking hidden basement. Bro, it was gross.
Come
There were people.
Dude,
There was
Benjamin Lindsay, throw that comment.
Bro,
there were people that were like, I keep hearing Yiddish in my basement, but I don't know who to
dude,
tell
he's like,
about
I
it
live on
because
the
it sounds
ground floor.
crazy.
Why
And
do I hear Yiddish in my basement?
like,
Yeah, because they had
every night at 1 a.m.
underneath.
there's Yiddish in my basement, and it's like, and then
Pete,
all of a
put
sudden,
the bowl down. We put the. You're out of your mind. There's no what.
yeah, Hasidic Jews
This
in
is
the
not.
tunnels
This
under-
is this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a matter of fact.
yeah, no, they brought
How
it in
long
Hasidic-
ago did this happen?
This is within a month, I'd say. I'm
Right after, dude, you didn't hear about it because it happened right after in November. Nobody had the balls to say anything bad about Jewish people because of October 7th.
So hold on.
It
So
was
these people
it would have
live
been it was
underground.
everything underground tunnels in New York that start in synagogues and go out around the neighborhoods.
Yeah. And then what do they do?
Okay.
They kill
That's
people?
what everybody wants to know, Mike. Why did they have baby chairs down there? Why did they have kid mattresses? Why did they have beds in dark corners in isolated rooms where like it looked like some fucking what's his bucket? Put the basket in the lotion, put the lotion in the basket, had somebody tied up, bro.
Really?
Buffalo
Yeah,
Bill
dude.
from Silence of the Lambs.
Thank you.
This is-
Buffalo Bill is yes.
So hold on.
Dude.
Don't you hurt my dog?
This is kind of so they have underground tunnels, which is weird, but maybe they don't want to be out in public for people to see them. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Like
Sure.
Disney World has underground tunnels.
Yeah, dude, Disney World's a fucking pedo fucking island too.
Yeah, don't get him started on that. That's not a
Jesus.
great comparison right there, Michael.
That's not, bro. You're not helping. Andy knows. He's like, oh, he said Disney World. Here we go.
No, that's not a good comparison.
That's
right
just
there
because
when
they
it
don't want to see the workers walking in the street to ruin the thing. That's why they have the underground tunnels.
Remember we
Oh,
talked
man.
about the deep underground military bases? All these things make sense.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
what I gotta ask, and I'm gonna I don't even want somebody to clip this because I'm gonna probably be totally naive, but like what is Hasidic Jew?
Hasidic, yeah,
Hasidic
What
Jew.
is Hasidic?
It's
That's,
just
uh,
I was
it's
thinking like
a
acidic.
tradition.
I'm like acidic.
No,
That's
Hasidic.
the one with the curls is very the Orthodox.
Oh, so that's like a version of
Yeah.
a Jewish person.
It's like a very like it's a sect of-
Right-wing
of
Amish
Judaism.
looking
You
type.
know, there's
like, not
Orthodox
really dope.
Jews, there's Hasidic Jews, there's like your friendly neighborhood,
friendly.
Jew, I guess. I don't know, like just how there's like different types of Catholics. You have your Greek Orthodox, you have your Irish Catholic,
Yes.
you have your people that follow the King James Bible, you have everybody all around of different sects. You have the Sunnis, you have the
I don't think I want to know anymore.
whatever.
I don't think I wanna-
You
Bro.
just said friendly neighborhood Jew.
I don't know, bro. You got
I don't
there's
want to
everybody
know
that-
anymore.
bro,
So
there's
essentially,
different
I
sects
need
of
to
Spider-Man.
play it down
Yeah,
for
dude.
me.
fucking know. Dude, it's just neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
Thanks.
this might have been perfectly cut off.
No,
But
the Hasidic-
underground, they have underground tunnels that go
There
to
were
people's
underground
houses.
tunnels. Dude, and the police found out about it. The police were trying to go down there, and they literally fought the police off and wouldn't let them in.
How the fuck do you build underground tunnels in New York?
Easy with a shovel.
I
Bro,
don't know, man.
bro,
I don't know.
bro. Israel built tunnels in Gaza.
Listen, if it's
and
not
then
about
they gave the
fights,
tunnels to Hamas.
You told him to bring up the
I know.
conspiracies. Here we are talking about
I'm just
Jew
saying,
tunnels.
I'm just trying to show my naivety. Like, if it's not about fights, it's not about a restaurant.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just oblivious to the world.
You
I
didn't
guess.
know about the Jewish tunnels in New York?
I'm
I
not
know-
even like making this shit up. This is like common facts. How about we could talk about the immigration problem? We could talk about Roxbury Community Center being closed fucking 2 miles
Like,
away
I
from
don't-
my
I
house, so
don't-
they could put all these illegal Africans, Chinese, and Middle Easterns in here. They're not even fucking families from Southern and Central America like they tell you on the news, bro. These are military-aged single men that are coming
Mm.
into the country through the southern border. And because Massachusetts is a fucking sanctuary, Boston's a sanctuary city because we're nowhere near a border. So why would we ever have to house immigrants? The fucking Texas sent them up here. So now we got to deal with what Maura Healey do? She's taking away from the low-income families, because God forbid she goes to a high-income family, a high-income neighborhood, and says, we're taking your community center. No, she went for Roxbury, right across from Mattapan from me, shut that shit down, took all those free programs away from those fucking neighborhoods and all those kids that don't have shit. That's like the only good thing they have in their life is to go to that place every day. And she shut it down to house illegal immigrants. They're going to give them a stipend. They're going to give them cell phones. And you know who's giving them all the money for this? The fucking UN, dude. They just leaked the internal memos that said for 2024, we have to allocate so many $100 million for all these starter packages for the immigrants that we're bringing up through the southern border.
Dude, you guys are blowing my mind right now. He's showing me a video.
I'm showing.
I'm like,
you're watching the tunnels. You're watching the tunnels, aren't you, dude?
Yeah,
I'm showing them the tunnels.
Listen, I guess I'm like low-level conspiracy theory. Like the only thing I know about is there's some crazy conspiracy about somebody that got a police officer who got killed in like Canton, like in a snowstorm or something. I heard about that, and there other police are trying to pin it, and there was some other girl. I think I'm wicked weak with these details, but that's one. And then there's a guy in Scituate who like killed his wife and put her in a dumpster, and there was like dude, that's like you guys are just going to like another level with me here.
Dude.
Yeah,
yo, you want to know what else? You want to know what else is fucking hilarious? I saw the comment come across the bottom. Dude, Alex Jones was calling all this shit 15 years ago. Everybody thought he was crazy. Everything that he was saying 15 years ago has come full steam ahead. Fuck
Epstein's
We're
Island.
moving to a cashless society. They're turning the frogs gay with soy. They're fucking the southern border is wide open, and they're importing fucking liberal voters because it's the Democrats bringing them in, and it's a fucking statistic that 85% of immigrants vote Democrats in their first election. Oh, and guess what? We're going to World War III, so we're gonna have mail-in fucking ballots for the presidential election, and Sleepy Joe Biden is mysteriously gonna win again. Like, give me a fucking break.
I'm with you, Clark.
We just bombed the Middle East. We just bombed Syria and Libya over the weekend. Like, shit's about to pop off. Did you also know? Look, the weed's kicking in, guys. Did you also know the Navy, our armed forces, you know what they just removed as a requirement? High school diploma and GED. We're going to fucking war. You no longer need a GED. You no longer need a high school diploma to get into the fucking military. You just have to pass some standardized exam that they created. Fucking Yahoo, dude. Look at all that. Yeah, because we're going to war.
Nick's going to have this little meme of me with my brain blowing.
Money. Our government's owned by corporations. Fucking George Bush said it the best. Sometimes money is better than peace.
Africa says you're moving to Spain. Pack your bags. On that note, you know what is popping off? Not World War III, but Peter Barrett's going to be popping off in the Cage Size Cage on March 30th. I got some internet research to do after this conversation. But Pete, let's bring it back home. March 30th. Send us home and tell us how exciting that you are to be back in that Cage Size Cage and putting on a show for all your family and friends locally here.
You know, I think I can say I've never honestly ever been addicted to anything, but I now know what it feels like to Jones for something. I haven't fucking fought in over a year, and I'm just like crawling out of my skin. I cannot wait, Andy, for you to introduce me. It just gets me going. Just thinking about it.
I love it.
There you go. Pete, let's get early on your t-shirt design. Give me 2 t-shirt ideas right now on the spot.
Dude, it's late March. I was thinking Lucky Charms, but because we talked about it before, but we did Jameson. Dude, I don't know. I've been thinking about it the last week. I'm going to get on it quick.
All right. So Lucky Charms is a cool idea. It's not a bad idea.
Of course, now you start to cut out.
Hey, we cut out for a second. We're just saying thank you. Back to business, man. Thank you very much for jumping on. Get back to the baby and wife, and we'll see you in March. Slippery Pete.
All right, dudes. Have a good one.